Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome.
First, I want to thank all of you for the incredible response we got from our last YouTube video. It's an amazing thing to see an active comment section on one of our YouTube videos. We're also sitting right around 700 subscribers, so that's all owed to you. Thank you so much we're so glad you guys enjoy the content we're putting out. We have a lot more planned for this year, which we'll detail later in the video. But thank you not only for that, but for the bunker release going the way it did. We really appreciate it. This video, we want to go over a topic. We try to focus our watch related topics on questions we receive. So this video, I'm going to have my dad overview some basic information regarding movements. So how to best maintain them, how to store them, just basic knowledge that you need to ensure your movement runs for as long as possible and performs as well as it possibly can.
All right. Just first to let you know how the assembly is done on a mechanical movement in order to control the charge. There's winding machines that are available to assemblers, and what is done is we place the watch in a tray, and then it gets rotated for 2 hours until it's fully wound. So to let you know, if you wear a watch and you do not wind the watch and if you're pretty active, within 3 to 4 hours, that watch would be fully wound. That's not necessarily a known thing, but if it's done on a machine in 2 hours and during heavy activity, 3 to 4 hours, and it's fully wound, and it stays fully wound for the time you're wearing the watch. The watch has a life of about 38 to 42 hours. So during the nighttime, if you decide to take the watch off, well, there's not much movement during the nighttime anyway, you will reduce the lifespan of the barrel by the watch by about 20% only. The accuracy of the watch will still be the same. It would not require any winding before you put the watch on in the morning again. So on a daily wear basis, it is not necessary to do that. Looking back in history, before the automatic watch was in existence, that was a normal tradition. Every morning you wind the watch, you add about 10 to 15 half rounds, and you're fully wound again. So there's that tradition for some people lives on. It doesn't affect the movement in itself if you're doing that in the way it's meant to be done, but sometimes it could damage the movement if it's done incorrectly.
And for those wondering, for example, some days I may be far less active than others. If I grab my watch and it is not running, how many times should I wind it before putting it on my wrist and being good to go?
If you want to wind it, I personally don't even wind it. I
just give it a little shake.
I put it on. You have to set the time. So if you want to wind it, go ahead and wind it. 10 times is more than enough. If you feel no, I want to make sure that it is wound at least 30 to 40% of its barrel capacity, then go up to about 30 half rounds. But the accuracy of the movement starts to be within the tolerance that you have if you're over 20% capacity left over. So the watch will not run 100% throughout the life of its 42 hours exactly the same, but within tolerance that's acceptable probably to you and to the vast majority of customers, clients that we have. So 10 times, go for it if you feel there's a need to. If you think 20, that's fine, but please don't go over 40. It doesn't do any good at all.
Yeah, so that's another thing I want to talk about. The SW200, it's a pretty robust movement. So there are safety measures in place in the movement to prevent overwinding. But like with all safety measures, those can fail. So what do you risk when you overwind a watch? Not that in the off chance the safety measure doesn't catch, what do you risk by overwinding or winding all the way every day?
Well, the number one possibility is that your barrel will not function anymore. That the spring within it is defect. Okay, so the vast majority of movements that come back for after sale service have a barrel issue or a rotor issue, and both of those issues are related to the winding of the movement. It's not, the movement is a construction that's 40 plus years old, 30, 35, 40 plus years old. So it's a proven technology, and you run average somewhere around 2% of returns on these movements. So that can be increased if there's violent charging of the barrel mechanism within the watch. Okay, so sometimes you hear of the word helicopter rotor. This is caused by insufficient oiling and greasing of the 2 or 3 wheels that make sure that the rotor is charging barrel in any direction. Okay, and when you wind and you feel that the rotor is turning with your crown, that's considered a helicopter rotor, which is not good. The watch still runs. It has nothing to do with the accuracy, but the charging of the watch, it becomes a nuisance. Okay, and the vast majority of these problems deal with insufficient greasing or oiling of these couple of wheels, and or violent. When I say violent, it's what's the correct word? Violent is not the correct word.
I would phrase it as aggressive winding.
There you go. So, Joshua to the rescue here.
Winding your movement more than necessary. I like to think of it as you have a car. Your car is designed, the motor is designed to be able to handle really high RPMs, a lot of stress on the engine. It's not necessarily going to break it, but if your engine is going to break, it will happen faster. So, and it just adds more risk. So it's not like if you do it, it's going to break it. These movements can handle a lot. Our return rates are still well under 1%, which is something we're very proud of. But what we're saying is that the majority of those returns are usually due to these issues. So it's something, and I'm with a lot of you. I don't understand the intricacies of the movement as well as my dad. So what we'll actually do is we'll be making a video with Jeremy, our in-house watchmaker and relative, my younger brother. He's our watchmaker over in Switzerland. We're going to do a video where he's going to detail exactly what causes helicopter rotor. He'll show you the gears and what is done to fix it. Like my dad mentioned, your watch will still run. In fact, there was a discussion in a Facebook group I saw the other day where a brand, and I don't think it was a micro brand, I think it was one of the bigger brands. They said it's fine, your watch still runs, it's not an issue. It is an issue, and it's something that should be fixed. It's just kind of a nuisance, but we're going to go into exactly how you fix that and why it happens. But I learn a lot right along with many of you. I'm sure some of you already know this about the movements and how these things can happen, because what is the safety measure in the movements to prevent this any issues happening when you overwind? Because I know when you wind to a certain point, something happens within the movement, like a safety.
There's a safety mechanism within the barrel and the stem winding that allows you to just keep on keep on winding it, and no interference should be on it. So we can explain that in detail with some technical drawings that are available online from Salida as well, and let you know exactly how that is done. That probably would be more enlightening and far better way of explaining it. So the other thing that deals with the maintenance of the watch, that a lot of individuals, they prefer to make sure that their watches are always running, so they have a winding mechanism within their gift box, or just a winder that they use. This is something we're going to be looking into for future within the next 2-3 months, that will have a choice of a winder available that you could purchase as well. So if the watch is not used, you could put it on a winder. If you don't have those yet, they're readily available on the market, but our winders will be specifically programmed for the SW200, or also for the SW300 model families, which will help you to make sure that you can control your accuracy of your movement even better that way.
Yeah, because every movement's different. So to recap, and just so none of you are afraid, if you have been winding your movements aggressively, as we stated before, don't worry. If you haven't ran into any problems yet, you're fine. But to recap, best practice, if your watch is not running, either pick it up, give it a few shakes to wake it up, throw it on your wrist, or give it, I usually give it 5 to 10 quick winds if I'm in a hurry, and set the time, and you're good to go. And then if it's on a full charge by the end of the day, if you're having an active day, it should have no problem running through the night. So that's just best practice for those of you who want to know how to better maintain your automatic movements for maximum longevity. That's the information I wanted to share.
Rest assured, if by any chance you have a rotor that has a helicopter issue, we will gladly repair it for you.
Yeah.
It'll always be a warranty case, okay? It's never going to be a non-warranty issue for us, okay?
Yeah,
we understand
we'll
that it's out of your control in that sense. So don't worry about that. We understand that your freedom of maintaining the watch the way you want is paramount, and we will take care of you.
Yeah, don't think that this video is just covering ourselves from having the responsibility to fix any of these issues. If you have a helicopter rotor, it's not like I'm just gonna return this link to you and say, here's what you did wrong. We will fix it for you. Like my dad said, it's due to oiling, and sometimes as your movement settles in, even if it's a brand new movement, sometimes that issue can arise. That's something we will always take care of for you. So if you run into that issue, let us know. It's a really quick, easy fix. We'll have it shipped back to us, fix it, and have it back to you in no time.
There you go.
So thank you all again for the amazing support on the channel. The next video, before Jeremy's, we want to try something a little different. I'm looking at having interviewing, or not so much interviewing, having a discussion with another brand owner, just to give you guys a little more insight into what it's like to run a micro brand, not just from the middle of nowhere, Nevada like us, but from another country, in this case, Australia. So that's something we're really excited for. But thank you all again, and have a fantastic weekend.
Thank you. All the best.